Hello, welcome to Frankenstein Church. This is the Stream of Blood, where we play tabletop role-playing games. Normally in this spot on a Sunday morning, you'd be attending Vampire Church. We play Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, but I promised that there would be some Frankensteins in this season of Vampire. And then we came to a kind of a really natural stopping point for the Vampire Chronicle. And we hadn't fulfilled our promise that there would be Frankensteins. And we realized that we came to this stopping point right in the midst of Frankenstein season, which is mid-October. It's like October, 17th today. It's perfect Frankenstein weather. And so we are coming to you this morning. I'm so proud to announce that we are playing a game where everyone is a Frankenstein. We are playing a game, perhaps, I don't know if it's the most obscure White Wolf game. I don't know if it's like it's certainly maybe Clinton Trucks and I were talking the most complicated White Wolf game. We were playing Promethean, the Created this morning. And I'm realizing as I tell you this, that my wife had The Office last. And instead of having my Frankenstein poster behind me, I have an Amy Sedaris poster. But if you look at her character in Strangers with Candy, there's many things in common between that character and the monsters that we are going to build today in Promethean the Created. Hold on just 1 second. Sorry. There we go. There's old Frankenstein right there. So Promethean the Created, it came out around, I think, like 2006 or something like that. It's a new World of Darkness game. There was an old classic World of Darkness. This is the new World of Darkness. And in this game, all of the characters are the created. They are golems and Frankenstein's monsters and statues brought to life by lustful sorcerers. So this is the game we are playing today. It's a truly weird game. It might be the most complex game, but we're going to have a really good time with the players that we have to play this game with us. I will say, today's mostly character creation, but I like to always say this. These World of Darkness games, they're adult games. That means that when you're watching this stream, you may see some violence. You may hear me talk about some gore or some viscera. And sometimes these characters have powers that let them take over people's minds or otherwise alter someone else's bodily makeup. That can be uncomfortable for some people. So if that's not your thing, give it a pass. But the most important thing to remember is that we are always listening to your reactions to our content. You can get on our server, the server of blood, our Discord server, and you can let us know what you thought. Give us your reactions to our content, your concerns, your gripes even. We read all of them, and I swear we take them very, very seriously. So let us know if you have any reaction to our stuff. And I really, really am anxious to hear what people think about this Prometheans game. Frankenstein was the modern Prometheus. That's the subtitle of the novel Frankenstein. So these characters are Prometheans. I'm very excited to see what you think of it. I think that for a lot of people, this is a game they've never heard of. So let us know what you thought and let us know in the chat while we are playing today. I'm going to bring in your players. I have to first say, one of our players got delayed. His flight from Greece is delayed. So he is going to probably miss the session today. Luckily, he's the only guy we had last week. So his character is fully formed, and he's ready to slot right into the game. So Abu Salim won't be with us today. But, we have two heavy goddamn hitters here instead. You know this man. You love this man. He is currently doing a residency at a theater in Denver with his group, the Improvised Shakespeare Company. He elevates every game we play. Please welcome the wonderful Ross Bryant, everybody.
Oh, hello, Jared. Wow. Yes.
Hey.
Greetings from Denver. I'm ready to become a Promethean and steal the sacred fire of the gods. Let's do it.
Ooh, someone's done their research. Ooh.
Yeah. I also love that you comped to the fact I didn't realize that this game also included horny wizards bringing statues to life.
Lustful wizards and sorcerers. That might not be in our game, but it's canon. It's canon.
That's great. Much like the mythological Pygmalion.
Yes, exactly. Ross, what's your history with Frankenstein?
I remember we were assigned to read Shelley's Frankenstein in school, and I feel like that's maybe not the best book to assign to 8th graders because, like, you're pitched on, oh, it's a monster book, and then you read it and you're like, oh, this is like a gothic romance. And I remember my friends and I kind of laughing a lot at how much Victor Frankenstein weeps at everything. Like he's a very sensitive, 19th century romantic hero. So he's often beholding his creation and weeping, or looking at a Swiss Alpine landscape and weeping at its beauty. And we're just like, what a freaking crybaby. But now
I just reread Dracula like 2 months ago, and you'd be surprised at how often the heroes just swoon and pass out. And I'm talking, the stalwart, heroic men. They don't just do it to the ladies. Like even Van Helsing is like, oh, it's too much. Oh,
yeah, They were very charged up back then. And I also think that when most of your clothes are very constrictive whalebone girdles and corsets, there's probably a lot of restricted blood flow that adds up to just an epidemic of swooning.
You're not getting the blood you need to your head. And that's why I'm anti-Spanx.
That and sexual repression. Yeah, that and sexual repression.
Right. Speaking of sexual repression, that's the worst segue I've ever done for anybody. But she has none that I'm aware of. She is a fantastic actor, improviser, role player. We've had her on the Vampire stream as one of our Inquisitors. She's signed on for more. God love her. Please welcome Josephine McAdam, everybody.
Is it too late to back out?
After that segue, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. Hello.
Yeah. I was back here just like, no, don't make this the segue.
Yes. No, of course.
No, but I'm very happy to be here. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll have a really, really good time. What's your Frankenstein knowledge, Joe? What's your Frankenstein experience?
Well,
0 is a fine answer.
Look, no, I feel like I have to explain this a lot, is that while, yes, I have experienced many projects, media, what have you, I have a horrible, gift and curse of forgetting anything that happened more than a year ago.
Sure.
So, any movies, any books, anything, yes, I may have read it in high school or in whatever, but it's gone. It's gone. So there's a blank slate ready to go. I have dressed up as Lisa Frankenstein.
Nice.
Wait, now you have me at a loss. Who is Lisa Frankenstein?
She's a mashup of Lisa Frank paraphernalia and Frankenstein's.
Oh, it's your original creation.
No, it's not my. I just wore it. It was my friend's creation that I got to model, awesome. And it's a lot of color, and it was very fun.
It's an undead homunculus made from tuxedo-clad penguins and
rainbows.
A lot of rainbow.
Liquid metal unicorns.
I'll find you a photo. You'll see.
Yeah.
Our Generation Z viewers, please look up Lisa Frank and be obsessed forever, because it's nostalgic enough for me when I never really had it because I was a boy and boys didn't have it. But
sure.
Whenever I look at Lisa Frank stuff, I just have delight in my head because of the nostalgia from it.
Yeah, it is some
great.
Good,
maybe
90s psychedelia.
Yeah, 90s psychedelia. Maybe Lisa Frank can inspire some of our characters today. Who knows? It's really up to our players. So I'm going to tell you about this game. Please interrupt me at any point to tease me or make fun of me in any way that you'd like.
Okay.
This game is called Promethean the Created, and you guys are going to create monsters today. So your character, this is an interesting challenge, I think, for a player and for an actor. Your character literally woke up to life right before, the game started. So instead of coming up with how did they grow up, or what were their parents like? They have a creator. Usually it's another Promethean that has created them. And you might have a little bit of past for your character, several months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. But I want these to be fairly new creations. And so they are monsters in a sense, in that they don't really know what human life is like. They don't know what are these emotions you speak of. Think of every great robot movie where the robot's trying to learn to feel and be a person. That's very much what this game is about. Your goal in the 5 or so episodes after this one that we're going to have is going to be to try to become human. If you choose that as a goal for your character, you might go, no, my character decides fuck being human and I'm going to rebel against that. And that's completely fine too. But sort of the implicit goal of the game, it says a lot in the fiction here, is that these guys want to become human. And the reason they want to become human is, as you can imagine, there's all kinds of downsides to being a monster sewn together out of corpse parts. But specifically, other than the ones that you're aware, other than the obvious drawbacks that you're aware of, they create what is called disquiet in humans, meaning humans hate them for reasons they don't quite understand. Like every time you meet and talk to a human, I'm going to start making rolls and you're going to start making rolls. And if the dice go badly for you, the human just starts hating you. And that's how they describe in this game why Frankenstein's monster had mobs of villagers chasing him all the time. Because the strange fire, the weird life force called Azoth that brought the monster to life. It has strange effects. It has a weird radiation that affects humans in adverse ways, and that's why you want to become a human so that you no longer like cause humans to hate you. The Azoth does another thing. It creates wastelands. That means like if these creatures stay in one place for too long, the environment around them starts to wither and die in weird ways. For example, if you are literally a Frankenstein, there's like constant lightning storms and fire and stuff that pops up. So they have to always keep on the move as well, or they literally ruin the world around them. So that's why they want to become
sad.
Human. Yeah.
Okay,
what a tortured existence.
I found Lisa. Hold on, it'll focus. It'll focus. That's Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dope.
That's fantastic. That's really fantastic. Who did that?
Anyway.
Who's the designer of that?
Special effects makeup artist Hogfly. They're in Austin.
Hogfly.
Dope.
Look up Hogfly stuff because that was really cool. Okay, great. So, like in all these vampire games or these World of Darkness games, there are different types of monsters you can choose to be, right? In Vampire, it was your clan. In this game, it's called a lineage, and it's basically like there are different methods for taking corpses and bringing them back to life, and these represent the different rituals or different methods that are used. So, if a secret storyteller Clinton Trucks could please bring up our lineages, our lineage choices, and I'll just kind of walk you guys through them very slowly, and you can kind of tell me what looks good to you. First of all, there's definitely a Frankenstein one, right? That's actually one. That'll be like the first choice, and that's in the game book. It literally says that Frankenstein was the creator of the first one, and that they are. Here we go. Okay, yeah. So here they are: Frankenstein, or the wretched, shambling creatures whose limbs and organs were culled from multiple bodies. They were given life by the element of fire in the form of lightning, and they suffer from an excess of the choleric humor, which makes them rageful and spiteful. Their progenitor was the famous Frankenstein's monster, and their bestowment, that's kind of like your automatic power you get if you choose this, is unholy strength. Okay, so pretty self-explanatory. Classic Frankensteins. But you could be a lady Frankenstein, or a scientist Frankenstein instead of just like a lumbering brute, or add some spin to it. The default year of our game will be 2021. We'll just make it now. Okay, Clint, let's see the next choice. The next choice of lineage is Galatea, the Muses. Beautiful creatures made from the most perfect body parts of multiple corpses. They are enlivened by the breath of life, and they have an excess of the sanguine humor. And their progenitor was Galatea, the woman created by Pygmalion, and their bestowment is their mesmerizing appearance. So with them, like, people become obsessed with them. I said that like people like start to hate the Frankenstein's monster. Well, these Galateans, these muses, like people start to become obsessed with them and stalk them.
Whoa.
Is their problem. Yeah. All right, let's see the next one.
Gnarly.
So this is what Abu chose for his character.
Okay.
These
Cool.
are the Osiris lineage. Now, you can have more than one. Don't feel limited at all if two people want to play this. But they are descendants of the Egyptian progenitor Osiris, who was dismembered and remade by Isis by the banks of the Nile. They come to life amidst water. Water is their element. And they have an excess of the phlegmatic humor, which makes them like eerily calm when they shouldn't be. Like sometimes they don't have any empathy. And they have a power called revivification, which lets them bring the dead back to life.
Super
That's
cool.
the Osiris. Yeah, very useful. Tammuz, the golems. They are reborn in the womb of the earth, and they have an excess of the melancholic humor, which makes them sort of depressed. This is not just a Babylonian golem, but also the classic, what is it? The golem of Prague, Rabbi Lowe, and the golem of Prague. Like they often have like words scratched into their head like those classic golems.
Awesome.
And they have unholy stamina. So no matter what you do to them, they just keep working. They keep going. Those are the golems, the Tammuz. And then finally, this one is maybe the weirdest or the least expected. They're called the Ulgan, the Riven. Creatures born in bodies torn apart by spirits, animated by
What?
ectoplasm left in the womb.
What?
They're ectoplasmic humor.
Shaman.
Yeah, Siberian shaman, and they're bestowing as ephemeral flesh. Now, look, I just want to be very clear. When we say things like Siberian shaman, these games were made in 2006 or 2008 or something like that. So sometimes people weren't quite on board with, cultural appropriation. I think you can create a character like this without, acting like a shaman. Yes. So just to be very clear at the outset, what I'm expecting and what we are expecting on the channel if we do something like that. So, what is looking good to everybody? These guys, the Ulgan, by the way, they have ephemeral flesh as their power, so they can see spirits all around them and talk to spirits and things like that. And they're sort of haunted all the time. And they look like all of these Prometheans have disfigurements, like when people can see past the illusion that they all cast on themselves, they can see that they're really stitched together out of corpse parts, or like the Ulgan, you can see that they were ripped apart by spirits and then put back together again in some way. So what's looking good? Josephine, you're the guest. You
I was going to say, can we hear about Abu's character at all? Or is it secret?
It's not secret at all. Abu created an Osiris lineage Promethean named Achille, which is, I think he said, a Swahili word for like mind or knowing. And he took advantage of the fact that these characters don't have to have had a realistic life beforehand to put 5 dots into stuff. And so he took 5 dots of occult. So his character is an occult, I think probably when we see his character in action, you'll see that his character read an entire occult library and just memorized all of it. So he's very much a very cerebral character who knows stuff. And he is an Osiris, so he looks like it says in the book, when you see their disfigurements, every Osiris is missing a key body part. We haven't figured out what part that is of Abu's character yet. And that they often have they look like mummies with brown desiccated flesh or blue skin, even sometimes they have, when you see past the illusion to their disfigurements. So he's like a really smart mummy, basically, guys.
That rocks. Abu's the best. That's great.
Yes.
Okay. Joe, do you have are you inspired?
I have an idea, but I'm kind of trying to, I feel like the assumption would be, so I kind of want to play like a doll that's come to life.
Nice.
And I feel like the assumption is to do Galatea, but I kind of want it to be Frankenstein.
I don't see why not. I don't see why you can't make it like a doll that came to life, but that is also a Frankenstein. I mean, corpse parts were involved in the creation according to the canon.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Excellent. So
but
we will.
Part of me can be corpse, and part could be like pieces of porcelain, like.
Oh yeah,
I love it. There.
It's like porcelain prosthetics linking dead flesh.
Yeah, I mean, the really fun thing is you guys can go really out there with your character's appearance or how you think of them physically, because they can literally have tubes going through them or exposed entrails or whatever is in your head. And I love the idea of porcelain as part of this character. These weird doll parts have been used to kind of fill in the gaps where a ligament couldn't be found. The proper ligament couldn't be found, so the creator used something else.
Could it? You know that I will stretch as far as I can from what you've played with me in the past. Could it be that a child stumbled upon some ritual and like animated their doll with some whatever they found, in their creepy parents' basement. I don't know.
I love it. You're the creation of a creepy child. That's an eccentric.
Let's see. I have to decide how far I want to bend what the
I
canon.
know.
of the books
I
is.
understand. Yeah, I'm putting
What if
something
your
out there.
What if your creator was another Promethean, but like a child Promethean? Is that a fair compromise?
Yes, totally fair. And they want a companion their size, aka doll size.
Oh yeah. Oh, so they've made you like a small kind of a child-sized creature. That's so creepy and awful. Let's do it.
Okay.
So we have, and I love also the idea of like a little 4 foot tall or even less creature with unholy strength.
Yes,
which is what
that's
you're
what
going to get.
That rules. That rules.
Great. Okay, so we're gonna call your character a Frankenstein. We'll throw that up for you. Yeah, and let's talk about virtue and vice. So to get willpower back, willpower is used, kind of the same way it was used in Vampire, to re-roll dice. But in this system, they kind of want you to pick one of the classic virtues and classic vices to kind of represent your character. So do you have an idea of what your virtue might be? Charity, faith, fortitude, hope, justice, prudence, or temperance? Prudence means you don't jump into things without planning a little bit first. You're not you're not very spontaneous, but you also don't take unnecessary risks. Temperance means you're not a glutton. Like you really kind of do everything in moderation. Your life is orderly, right?
Definitely not that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe fortitude or
fortitude.
hope?
Okay, so like she could have maybe, and I say she, I assume is the character
I
a
don't
she
know.
her?
Sure.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, and then hope, she could have hope that she will one day become a real girl.
Yeah. What is fortitude? Sort of.
Fortitude would be more like no matter what the world throws at her, she keeps on ticking, baby. She doesn't let anything like really beat her all the way down. She gets back up.
Well, damn.
She'd get willpower every time she suffers a loss and then gets back up and tries again. Basically, with fortitude.
Yeah, you know what? No, let's do hope. Let's do hope.
Hope. That sounds good.
I'm like, I can see her giving up a lot, so.
Great. That's always good in a role-playing game. I don't know. I give up. Then we have a vice, and that's always more fun. What is the bad part, the bad end of her character? Envy, gluttony, greed, lust, pride, sloth, or wrath?
It's gonna, I think, describe to me the difference between gluttony and greed.
Yeah, so gluttony's more like, what do I want to say? Pleasure, right? Gluttony's more like you want to eat, you want to drink, you want to experience pleasure. For a girl, like a young creature, it might be like toys or things that give you immediate pleasure. Whereas greed is more like I want to amass wealth so that I can control people and institutions and
let's do greed.
That's kind of what greed. Oh, how terrifying! A greedy little calculating child.
Yeah, gluttony is I want to eat candy. Greed is I want to hoard candy.
Yes, totally. And then we'll give you a concept. Should we call the concept broken doll or something like that?
Broken doll is good. And you know what? I feel like, so in my mind, she's not a child, right? It's because the dolls you have are like, they're just that size. They're like, but they are in their mind, whatever in their mind. I don't know what I'm saying about dolls, but like you have like Barbies or whatever, like they're not children themselves.
Thank you. Very good. Very, very good refinement on the concept here. This is not a kid. It just is a small sized creature, right? I mean, like the normal things we say about people don't really fit these creatures anyway. So
Right.
this is a small broken doll of a being. And also, Ross, Josephine thinks that dolls think things, so we have to be careful.
Yes,
Okay.
A Toy Story worldview. Yes.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get into one that a part that's it's kind of tough, but you get more special powers than the unholy strength, and the powers come out of what's called your refinement. So refinements are philosophies that the different Prometheans follow in their pursuit of turning human, or just in how they live their kind of unlife. So look how many of them there are. Yes, I myself am sort of depressed at how many there are in that list. But I'm going to help you by I'm gonna kind of I
Do
didn't
you
do
want to
this with
describe
Abu.
them, or do you want me just to pick one at random?
Ooh, that's a super interesting offer. You know what? Just to be insane, pick one at random.
Well, it's not random. It's the one that, like, it's
It
random
sparks-
because I don't know what they mean.
Yeah.
But,
What sparks joy?
Well, I'm just going off of this greed, and so I really want to go for gold.
Gold. Okay, great. So, do you want to know what it means now that you've chosen it?
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
Okay, so the refinement of gold seeks to interact with humans, get along with humans, and eventually become human. So
That works.
but I think it's so funny that like greed is sort of like her way into that. How you know what I mean? Like, how is she trying to like amass wealth and then control humans so that they like her? Like that's like kind of an interesting.
Get along with humans, be in control of humans. It's a fine line.
It's a fine line. Absolutely. All right, great. So now we've made it all the way down past the top lines to the attributes. And this is pretty easy. You pick which of those 3 columns you want to put 5 in, then which one you want to put 4 in, and then which one you want to put 3 into. And you can see that they're kind of divided by mental, physical, and social attributes.
How many of each?
5 to one column, 4 to the next, and 3 to the last column.
Oh, so only. But I can divide them amongst the column.
Any way you want. So,
Okay.
yeah, sorry, I'm still not being clear.
No, I got it.
Yeah, okay, great. So 5 dots go
Okay.
into like whichever one you think is the most important.
Oh, wait, maybe I didn't like one entire like strength. It would be like all in strength, or can I put it like
no, you could put it in
stamina.
You got it. That second thing.
Yeah. We're gonna divide them between those ones: strength, dex, stamina. The 5 dots. Let's do 2 more in strength. Wait, are we counting the first ones, or is that a freebie?
The first one is free.
Okay, great. So 1, 2, do, and then 2 in stamina and 1 in dexterity.
Great.
Okay.
So now what's second? Her mental faculties or her social manipulation?
Oh man, I like that those are separate from each other for some reason. That your mental faculties wouldn't be hand in hand with your social capabilities.
Yeah.
Well, there are people who are very smart but not very socially capable, and vice versa.
Yeah, I don't think you can go so far in the socials without a little bit of the.
A little bit of smarts?
Yes, yeah.
It really does depend on what group you're hanging out with.
Right, that's true. Okay, so then let's do it in the socials. So 4 dots. So let's do 2 in manipulation. 1 in presence. You know what? 1 more in manipulation.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
I love a creepy manipulative doll. Yeah,
and also I just want to say composure is how you keep your calm and keep your cool, and our broken doll has none of that. So she's going to possibly be in danger, and I think this is good. I like this of falling into what is called torment. You know how vampires frenzy? Well, sometimes Prometheans become tormented and they go on a rampage and do awful things. when a Frankenstein becomes tormented, their choleric humor takes over, and choleric means that they do spiteful, evil, vengeful things like the Frankenstein's monster did.
This is
So I
perfect.
really love. Yeah, I love that. And then where would you like your 3 dots in mental to go?
Let's do 1 in resolve.
Great.
I'm trying to remember. Wits is like being able to notice things too, right? Like picking up on things.
Yeah, generally it's like quick thinking, you know.
Mhm.
I actually find that wits gets used a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put 2 dots in wits.
Great. So, just so you know, she's a little below average with like intelligence stuff. That just means like knowing things. But you already have your super knowy
I
Promethean.
just became a doll.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't need to know anything except what's in front of me.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so now that we've done that, we slide. And tell me if I'm going too fast, Rudy. We can really take our time. We've got all the time in the world. We slide down here to skills, and we're going to do the same thing that we did with attributes, only there's more dots to drop into skills. So you're going to go 11, 7, 4. What's most important? Physical, mental, social. The most important one gets 11 dots, and then the next one gets 7, and the next one gets 4.
Okay, let me take a look. And you said that Abu kind of went occult, like knowledge. Yeah.
Yes, he went knowledge-y, but he really specialized. Oh, and that's one fun thing is I've ruled that because these things are created, you don't need to have a good reason. You have a 5 in politics. You were designed that way. You know what I mean? So you can kind of go nuts with how you drop the dots.
Okay, we're gonna do 11 dots in physical.
Great.
Let's do.
I love this.
Let's do 4 dots in brawl.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, a brawly doll.
Let's do 3 dots in larceny.
Yeah. Yep.
Man. Actually, do the 3 dots in stealth, and then we'll do 2 dots in larceny.
Great.
3, 1, 2.
I'm kind of seeing how our broken doll gets like fulfills her need for greed.
Yeah.
By breaking and entering. Yeah.
And perhaps do we need some in? Okay, so let's do 1 dot in athletics and 1 dot in firearms.
Amazing.
Hey, that doll's packing heat.
She's also part action figure, apparently.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Or should I do just weaponry? Is weaponry just vague weapon?
It's knives, it's clubs, it's stuff like that.
You know what? It's really funny to think of a doll with a firearm. I don't know why, but
either's fine. I mean, it's up to you.
Maybe a weapon's more classic too. Little stabby. Let's see.
She can child's play people, hop on their back.
Let's take 1 dot out of stealth and put that in weaponry. That way we'll kind of divide it. Yeah. All right. So that was 11 dots, and then it's 7 and 4 in the others.
That's correct. That's right. 7 and 4.
Okay, so we'll do 7 in social.
Great.
And empathy is what, getting people to empathize with me or me empathizing with others? Because
I think it's a little bit of both, but it'd mainly be you understanding other people's emotional states. Expression is something Abu's character took a lot of. Expression is like being able to write or create art that people like are affected by.
Yeah. We don't need that. We'll do 3 dots in subterfuge.
This is a terrifying character.
Yeah, it's becoming more creepy by the moment. I love it.
2 dots in intimidation and 2 dots in persuasion.
Love it.
Okay.
Great.
And then the last one's 4.
And then 4, that's right.
Let's do 4 dots in investigation.
4 dots in investigation. I love it. Okay. Great. And then you get some specialties, I believe. Let's see. Oh yeah, 3 specialties. So specialties are, very specific uses of the skill. For example, in Brawl, you might say, oh, you know what they are. So you get an extra die anytime the skill is applied with that
For
specialty.
that, yeah. And I get 3 of them?
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, this is a little different from the other games. So you get 3.
Oh my. Okay.
And we can pick them while we play too.
Perhaps I'll think on them. I definitely want to specialize in something in brawling. That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always useful in brawling to pick something like a move you do a lot, like disarming or tripping or something like that. Stealth, like sneak attacks, stuff like that.
And you can specialize in any attribute that you have dots in.
That's correct. You cannot specialize in it. You can't have a specialty in something you don't already have dots in.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm just gonna fill in your health. Your health is your stamina plus size. So size is you know what? I think we're gonna give you a flaw where you're smaller, if that's okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we can do that as a flaw.
That makes sense. So dwarf is the flaw we're talking about. Thank you, Clinton Trucks. Which I think makes your size 4. So your stamina plus size comes out to let's see, 4 plus, what's that? Oh, you have good stamina. 3, but 7 altogether. 7 health levels altogether.
So I'm trying to think of specializations while you're
no, please go ahead. Yeah, think it over. Your willpower is equal to your resolve plus composure. Our broken doll only has 3 willpower. So even when she's rolling to avoid torment, it's gonna be something. Azoth is a little bit like blood potency and vampire. It's basically a measure of how powerful the alchemical flame inside you is burning. And you want to get it really high to do it affects your powers, which are called transmutations a little bit. You want to get it really high to be able to have good dice pulls with those. But the good thing is, you can actually when we spend on merits here in a second, you can give yourself more Azoth if you want, or you can keep it at 1 if you see yourself as being kind of not that powerful yet, not that far along in your journey. You can go, and I'm looking here, and it looks like Frankensteins also have a merit that's possible. It's from 2nd edition, but I'll allow it, called spare parts. And I happen to know that means that if you'd rather take that instead of unholy strength, Joe, it means that you can heal yourself if you can just find some parts. Basically reconstruct yourself if you've taken a lot of damage, I think.
I don't know. I've grown attached to this unholy strength.
I think the unholy strength is really fun for a character like this. So either one is great.
Let's keep it on that.
Great. So let's talk about merits. This is where it gets really fiddly.
Yeah.
Clint is going to open the drop down menu of your nightmares. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see there's just endless choices here.
Holy moly.
I'm going to do something really, really useful. Is I'm going to bring up a list of all the merits and send it to the private chat so that you can kind of look over what they mean. And we are going to start on Ross's character.
That sounds great.
While you kind of look through them. And the other thing to keep in mind is if you don't want to pick them all now, you don't have to. We can
Mhm.
decide them while we're playing, but you get 7 dots worth. 7 dots worth of merits. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me make sure I'm sending you the right thing here. Yeah, this is a pretty good.
Yeah.
So just to let you know what Abu did, he decided to just give himself more Azoth because Abu loves a high power stat. And then he gave himself something called Good Brain, which means that whoever created him gave him a good brain that allows him to re-roll a skill, which he chose Occult, but he has 5 dots in Occult,
Oh
so I
my
think I'm going to make him
gosh.
choose something else because he's never going to fail that. So he should
Yeah,
choose
it's probably
something
going to
he
be
might
good. Yeah.
Ultra power. Magus.
When you're looking at these, oh wait, let me send you the Promethean merits as well. Let me just say Codex.
Was this difference then?
Well, there's just Promethean merits, and then there's just all these all these merits that don't necessarily have anything to do with Promethean. So
and then
it's all.
Clint, could you also send me the characters since there are prerequisites on some of these? That way I can make sure I'm not picking anything that I can't actually do.
All right, great. So I've put into the private chat the big merits list, and then the merits for Promethean. You get 7 dots worth. So just let me know what you choose after we talk to Rossi Baby for a bit. And so
just letting
yes,
Josephine know she can find the sheet that we're working from in the email I sent earlier today.
Oh,
great,
lovely. Wait,
lovely.
But that doesn't have what we filled in today, does it?
It does not.
Not yet, but you can use the drop downs to see what is available to you.
No, okay. But some of these have prereq, wits, 3 dots.
Oh, sure.
That's what I mean.
Stand by. I will send you your nearly finished sheet in an email momentarily.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
We love bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping.
Yes, bookkeeping is always good entertainment. You know what I'm always amazed by is the patience that viewers of actual plays have for bookkeeping is incredible.
Yes.
They're like, more bookkeeping! Show us what they bought at the store!
Show us your tallies. Show them.
Yes, where are your tallies? No problem. Thank you, though, to Clinton Trucks for doing all of that work for us behind the scenes, kind of there. We love you, Clinton Trucks. All right, Rossi Baby, I'm bringing up your sheet here, pal.
Okay. Now,
what are you thinking in terms of your lineage?
Interesting. So we've got a creepy broken doll, and a hyper magic occultic mummified magus.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Cool. So now, okay. In my head, I'm just picturing these two characters. I'm picturing this slender fellow stepping out of the Nile, and also this tiny doll. And I'm just imagining what would round out this trio if not a classic Hulk.
Yes.
But I'm also I feel like in the vampire game I've been playing a guy who's just a weapon, who's all
it's true. And also thankfully Joe has taken the role of the fighter a little bit here for you.
So I think we've deceptively got a Hulk. It's just this unassuming Hulk. So I think I'm actually going to pivot away from that and I want to be one of these Galateas.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay. Great.
Great. Look, I'll be honest. I didn't want it to be where I'm the only woman on the show and playing Galatea. I was like, I just feels I think this is so much more fun.
Oh no, I want to be I love that you're I love that you're the brawn of the outfit. And great, yes. So Galatea is my choice.
And are you thinking he, him, they, them?
I'm thinking they, them. This I'm they, them. This creature is the just androgyny incarnate. They're not.
Yes.
They have a beauty that transcends the confines of gender.
I love it. Let's do those virtues and vices because I think those tell us a lot give us a
Yeah.
lot to work with.
Great.
What do you think? Charity, faith, fortitude, hope, justice, prudence, and temperance.
Let's see. I will go with fortitude.
Fortitude. Okay. This character is able to bear these slings and arrows of what life or what passes for their life throws at them. And then what about the vice?
Yes.
Envy, gluttony, greed, lust, pride, sloth, and wrath.
Well, what is a beauty without their pride?
Yes, I love it. Yes. Oh, you are like your character thinks they are the greatest.
Yeah.
I really like that because
Yes.
not only do they stand up to a lot of like punishment, they are prideful probably about that as well. So that is
Yes.
very interesting. And this is so different from Curtis Krieger too already.
Right.
Like because Curtis I think he had trouble with feeling any pride about things. So
Right. Yeah. Very, very tortured. This character is tortured in a different way. Great.
Let's talk about. I think we can hold the concept off for just another minute.
Yeah.
We can hop to refinement.
Great.
And I'm happy to kind of walk you through some of these. I am going to limit some of these. Like some of these are like supposed to be rare or strange philosophies. The main ones are gold, copper, iron, quicksilver, and tin. Those are like the main ones. If you want me to tell you more about like, Abu did choose lead, which means that lead is the path of the originist, which means that Abu's character, Keely, is literally a expert on Prometheans. They study their own makeup and their bodies to learn more about what they are so that they can transcend it. That is what Abu's character has chosen. Josephine's character, of course, is a follower of gold, wants to eventually become human by making them accept her. So what about your character? Copper is the refinement of self. They generally are known as hermits. They sort of like try to meditate and become like really comfortable with themselves to stave off the disquiet and the wasteland effect around them. They're kind of like, spiritual souls. Ferrum is the refinement of iron. It means like they're the warriors of the Prometheans who try to use their inhuman bodies to, do amazing things. Mercurius are the wizards. They kind of, they are really into their like transmutations and powers. And by the way, Joe, we also have to pick those out, but we'll do that with both of you at the end here.
Okay.
But you get little powers like discipline powers in Vampire, called transmutations. Mercurius is all about like constantly changing, just like Mercury, and also learning how to master all these different weird, strange transmutation powers. And then finally, Stanum, tin, is the refinement of like rage and torment. And humans won't accept you, so you're just gonna make life shitty for them. It's like the rebellious, like dark, dark side of the Force.
Interesting. I feel like I was drawn to Quicksilver, Mercury, just because it's like it's beguiling and shiny, and I feel like a beautiful has cause to be emotionally changeable, and like you never know on what where you're at with them.
I love it. Great. And yeah, they are who they need to be at any given moment, right?
Right. I love that all the lingo in this game is like super alchemical. Like it's all like humeric and
Oh, this game is okay. I was reading this setting chapter. There are just like 5 pages on alchemy. Look how thick the text is, too, everybody. I mean, like, I was just like reading everything about. I was like, for page after page, I just had to learn about alchemy. And look, that kind of thing is fun for me. But even I was like, do I need to know all of this? So I understand why maybe this game. By the way, the game is beautifully written. It's a beautiful game by Justin Achille. a bunch of people that did a fantastic job. But I think that you can understand why people might struggle to find an audience because, god damn, do you have to be nerdy to like get the hang of this? Bill Bridges,
Yeah.
John Chambers, Oscar Garza, Will Hindmarch, Conrad Hubbard, Chris McDonough, Richard Thomas, and Mike Todd. Thank you for creating this game. But boy, y'all are some goddamn nerds. Okay.
Yeah.
I say that as a compliment. Okay, so
He knows the dispositions associated with the various humors and their associated elements. Get him.
Do you think you have a phrase for the concept yet, Ross, or do you want to wait on that a little bit longer?
A phrase for the concept.
Like broken doll.
Yeah, like it's like it's a mannequin. It's
Ooh.
I almost see like I know it won't be this, but a beautiful face that if you turn around, you see that there's nothing behind it. It's just like a hollow face.
Oh yeah. I think hollow mannequin is a really
hollow
cool,
mannequin.
Yeah, maybe that evokes a lot.
It's like I want something to fill this void inside me because I know I deserve it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh. Poor Promethean.
Yeah.
All right. Attributes time. 5, 4, 3. I'm guessing social, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think social is where I'm going to put it all. So yeah,
Great.
it's 11, 4, 3. You said
11? 5, 4, 3.
5, 4, 3. Great. Yeah, 5 in let's see. 5. Yeah, I'll do 2 in manipulation, 2 in presence, 1 in composure.
Okay.
So you have a composure of 2. Yeah. Okay. Great. And then physical.
Actually, take 1 out of composure, throw it into manipulation.
Oh my god, we're gonna be such a wreck. I love it.
Well, good. I mean, I want stuff to happen.
That's fun. Yeah.
There's this. I love that you guys play this way because there's this philosophy that some people play, and it's also valid. But it's like I need to protect my character from having a problem.
No.
And I love that you guys are like, oh no, let's be hot messes. Okay. Now, my friend, 4 dots into physical or mental.
Yeah, let's go mental.
Right.
I'll do 1 in each, and then 1 more in wits. So 1 in intelligence, 2 in wits, 1 in resolve.
1 in wits, 2 in intelligence, 1 in resolve.
2 in wits, 1 intelligence, 1 resolve. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay, and he's got it right. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Clint. Okay, so then you get 3 dots in physical. Where do you want those to land? I'm
going to put them all into dexterity.
Wow. Yeah. See, this is the kind of fun thing you can do here. So
it's not strong. I imagine that I'm in my head. This is the kind of thing that if you see it and he doesn't want you to see, they don't want you to see them. It's like they drop down on all 4s and like crawl up a wall.
We can make sure we get a power that does that, I think.
Yeah.
Or make it up ourselves.
Yeah. I see someone in the chat says moves like Jack Skellington, and yes, exactly that.
Yeah, a blow from our broken doll's fist will send them flying, but they have to hit them first. They have to catch them first. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now we are into our skills, and our skills are going to go. What do you think? Mental, physical, or social?
Social.
Yeah. Great. So you get 11 in your number 1 category.
All right. Holy moly. Okay. Let's put 3 in intimidate, 3 in persuasion. Right off jump.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 in socialize. 1 in subterfuge, 1 in empathy, 1 in Streetwise.
Yep, that's everything.
Great.
Great. So, and that's what I have. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I mean, just kind of all around kind of good at kind of interacting with people. But interesting that so much intimidation has been purchased here. Yeah, not afraid of strong arming someone if necessary. All right.
Beautiful and
So
terrible
now,
to behold.
beautiful and terrible, mental or physical now.
Let's go. And the next set is it's 7 and 5 or 7 and 4?
7 and then 4.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's go physical actually.
Okay.
And I said I like the idea of speed. So let's put 3 in athletics.
4 more left.
Let's put 1 in stealth. 2 in drive. We know that's important.
It oddly becomes super important all the time.
Mm-hmm. And 1 in weaponry. What the hell?
Oh man, I'm so glad that you went ahead and I feel like when we created vampire characters or when we first started playing vampire, everybody was like, drive, when would you use that? And then we wrecked 11 cars in the first 30 episodes. Great. So now you just have 4 dots to spend on your mental faculties.
Okay. I will do 2 politics, 1 investigation, 1 crafts.
Great. Great. And so now, do you have any thoughts on specialties for any of these things?
I think maybe for athletics, something like akin to what would like speed or like unnatural like Cirque du Soleil level, like
flexibility.
Flexibility. Oh yeah, flexibility. I think this is the sort of person where like their head can turn like a full like 180 degrees. So like the arm goes like around the body and like
holy shit. Is there a merit like that? Let me see if there's a merit like that because it's so. There's ambidextrous. Fast reflexes.
I think this person could like pack themselves down into like a shoebox, and it's the kind of thing where the lid pops open and they just bloom out of it. Like, you know.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, I don't think there's a transmutation that will do all of that for us. So we might make up our own merit here.
Or just contortionist
okay
or
with you.
Flexi.
Yeah. Well, let's call it contortionist. Luckily, this really beautiful sheet allows you to just write in things. So under merits. Let's give our friend a merit called contortionist. I think that it's not so powerful that it's worth more than 2 dots. So we'll put 2 dots in contortionist. And basically what I think your contortionist merit does is it allows you to do some of those tricks you're talking about, Ross. I won't be like sitting there going like, well, you're going to have to roll like da-da-da-da-da, like to do it, right? Unless you get really acrobatic with it. Then you get to roll those 3 athletics plus the specialty plus your dexterity, so you'll be fine.
Great.
But this is allowing you to do stuff that only a contortionist would be able to do without really having to roll for it all the time. That's really creepy. I love it. Okay, before we do the rest of the merits, let's look at the bestowments for the Galateid. And viewers, if anybody is an expert on Promethean the Created, I'm mostly going to be using the first edition rules. I'm not going to really be like employing conditions and aspirations and beats that come with the second edition, but I'm allowing like some second edition powers, refinements, and bestowments. And so for the Galateid, they can have mesmerizing appearance or Heart of Stone. And I don't know what Heart of Stone is. Let me find out. Heart of Stone. Your character they don't sound super stony.
No, mesmerizing
but
appearance sounds like what it is, but
yeah. I'm gonna look that up. I have my second edition here. I can look it up really quickly. But I mean, talk a little bit more about how you see this. How was this being created? How do they move through the world?
the
Like
idea is
what
that
do you-
these creatures that we're describing were made by a progenitor who was one of them.
Right, exactly. So there was a human progenitor of the Galateid line, but all the way back in the Greek
Right.
Greek city states or whatever. And since then it's just been other Galateids making Galateids.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
forgive me, my PDF is acting up, but this is a good time for us to just talk a little bit about what we think the creator was. Why did they make this hollow mannequin? And where have you been living? Inside of a department store? Who knows?
Hollow mannequin. Yeah. Or I realize we have a doll, but maybe like music box sort of like creatures, maybe more akin to what this creature is. Like maybe a craftsman made something to entertain them. A pretty thing to be their dancer, their mime, their clown, and it's become more conscious than they expected.
So whatever Heart of Stone is, it looks like it's a mistake, because what I am seeing is that you can have, I mean, someone made a mistake in creating this beautiful PDF we're taking full advantage of. Thank you for creating it, whoever you were, anonymous internet person, but you fucked up. So you can have one of these bestowments, my friend. You can have the mesmerizing appearance, or you can have this thing called Symbiotic Muse. Symbiotic Muse means you have a primal connection with human souls. You inspire, you motivate, you spark activity in anyone who touches you. You have to have some sort of method of inspiration: a kiss, a private dance, a poem, a cage match. That's what it lists. Are all common ways to inspire. In game terms, when the person acts in accordance with the inspiration, they gain +3 to a roll. And your character regains a point of willpower or pyros, which is kind of like your pool of power points.
That's interesting.
Pardon.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea of being so mesmerizing appearance is what it sounds like.
It is, yeah. It is. It's let me read that off to you actually as well, because we want to know exactly what that is. So here we go. I'm gonna bring it up.
There's so many merits.
Yeah,
I know, and it's hard to parse them all. That's why I think Abu was like, you know what, just give me more PowerPoints, and that's what I'll do. I'll have more Azoth, and Azoth usually gets rolled when you use your powers. So Abu's character wanted to, have. Here we go, mesmerizing appearance. You benefit from. You benefit from the 9 again rule. So this won't work exactly like Vampire 5th edition, you guys. Basically, in this game, you're going to roll your, the number of dice equal to the dots you have. And then anything that comes up 8, 9, or 10, you get to, those are successes. But with the 9 again rule, you will roll 9s again and see if you get more successes.
Okay.
With mesmerizing appearance, you get that on any social role that might be affected by your profound beauty.
Okay, that sounds useful. Yeah, well, I feel I might as well take that, eh?
Yeah, I think that works great. And I don't see you. I don't see us in this short chronicle doing a lot of like inspiring people to write a great piano concerto.
Right. But the idea that as I'm thinking more about this creature as like something made for entertainment of its progenitor that or its creator, that I think there is an aspect to them that is clockwork. like if you were to like open a hatch on the back of this thing, you'd see like gears and cogs.
Yes, I love that. This creature is made with some parts of a beautiful person, but also is a sort of an automaton in many ways. So, Joe, how did we do with our merits? Where did we end up with those?
I just got to. Well, okay, actually, it's the last section, so maybe I am close. Okay, I'm looking at fighting merits right now, and boy, are these fun. I don't know how the combat works in this, but there seems to be a lot of specifics. But I'm sure you can tell me if we're not going to use one or the other. There's a lot of like.
We will certainly have fights. Certainly have fights. But, I'm a big fan of the one roll combats sometimes, or like not going turn to turn and having like a long, just like, so here's what I'll say. If something is telling you like you get to go earlier in the initiative count and defense is doubled for you or something like that,
right?
Just trust that.
Yeah.
However I handle a combat, I will let that be a benefit to you, whatever you picked.
Yeah. There's so wait, I don't know if I have the prereqs though. Can I see my character sheet? So there's a killer instinct.
Killer instinct. Ooh.
You can size up a target's most vulnerable parts, which also counts as an aiming action. But I know I don't have the composure. I have the wits. Okay. I've got enough wits for this one then. Yeah, when attacking the target afterward, each dot of this merit can ignore 1-to-1 armor, ignore a point of defense, or convert a point of bashing to lethal damage.
That's amazing, and it's telling you have to have a certain composure for it?
Yeah, it's either composure, wits, or medicine. Oh, wait, or do I need all of those things? Oh, gosh. Do I need all of those prereqs?
Generally, it wants you to have all of them.
Yes, I don't see an or. Some of them say or, and I don't see an or on this one. So it says 3 wits, 3 composure, 1 medicine, which I don't have the other ones. So
I want you to have that so bad. But I feel like if I start hand waving everything,
it's okay.
We'll get real messy. So like we'll just be off in fantasy land. So
I might need to put something in deck, like one more dot in dex for some of these. Let me see if I should.
You know what?
Strength is good.
I think you can spend merit dots to improve your your dex. Actually, yeah, but I think it costs like 5.
Oh,
you'd be left with only like 2 more merit dots.
If we move one of the stamina dots to the dex dot, would that just decreases my health by 1?
That is correct. Yeah, it would decrease your health by 1, but you could do that. Would you like to do that?
Let's go for it. Let's do it.
Okay, great. Health goes down 1, but you had a you're still healthy. Six levels of health is pretty good.
Okay, so then that gives me more. Okay, so I do have brawl, right? So do I have? I have 3 dex levels now, 3 wits. Do I have 2 brawl?
You do have 2 brawl. You have 4 brawl actually.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I want to do ground and pound.
What is that?
Like the sound of that.
It just says take the rote quality to strike a prone target with brawl, but it does say falling prone yourself. Is it like an automatic you knock them prone or something, or?
Read it to me again, or
okay.
Yeah, what does it say again?
Let's make sure I understand. Take the rote quality to strike a prone target with brawl, falling prone yourself.
The rote quality. I'm not even sure. Let me look it up. I'll look it up. It's called ground and pound.
Yes. Oh, the chat seems to say it's re-roll all fails. So that would not be bad, I suppose.
That does sound good. Let me see here. Physical. We're going fighting merits there, right? Fighting merits. Ground and pound. Brawl 2. Strike a prone target with brawl, falling prone yourself. Oh wow, you do like wrestling moves. Yeah. I'm gonna look up what the rote quality means, but that sounds so fun. I think you should probably take it.
Yeah, I think you should do that and ground fighter below it, where you deny close combat bonuses from being prone and gain the stand-up grapple maneuver. Which I don't know what the stand-up grapple maneuver, but I'm kind of guessing that it has to do with standing up.
Okay. So rote qualities are an optional rule for this system. Using D10s, rote actions come into play when a player is following a step-by-step guideline. Normally they'd roll intelligence plus crafts, and 8, 9, or 10 would be a success. But with a road action, the player would be allowed to re-roll any failed dice once. So basically, the chat is absolutely correct. Thank you, chat. You, if you failed at attacking a prone target, you would be able to re-roll all of your failed dice one time. A prone target is anybody laying on the ground or sort of. I would even rule that sometimes prone to me means otherwise distracted, something like that.
Well, should we do that? I thought it was to strike them. I just read it wrong too.
It means to strike them. Yeah, it means to strike them when they are prone. So,
but it is a lot
down
of dots for a specific to strike a prone target. Well, you know what? No, let's do it. Let's do grounded pound. It's three dots though, so it costs 3.
Great. We're just gonna write that in because I don't think it's in the drop-down menu. Trucks.
Okay.
It's so fun. It's so fun when you use these systems that have had 3 or 4 permutations. We're doing a little bit of a cobbling together, but I think it's gonna all work beautifully as long as you get the character you want. So ground and pound, yeah, you can reroll any failed dice without spending willpower when you attack someone who's already down, Joe.
Yeah, like if they're asleep,
awful monster.
Yeah.
If they're asleep, certainly.
Yeah.
But if you've already made them fall down and you attack them again, you're going to really decimate them. That's great also for this character because you get them down to your level and then you can really take them out,
Yeah. Okay, so can we also do chokehold?
Chokehold.
It's 2 dots. After successful hold, add the choke grapple maneuver. Accumulate successes across multiple turns to knock unconscious for a few minutes.
I actually have the rules on that. I was kind of studying 2nd edition World of Darkness, so yes. Basically, you can take chokehold. I love that. That's wonderful. And I'll make sure I have how that works when when there's a danger of a fight coming up.
So that's at 5. And then the other one that seems to make sense is there is small framed. Since I already have the smaller size.
Yeah.
It says like -1 size, which I feel like we've done or
we've done because we've taken it as a flaw, so you will earn like XP if it becomes a problem for you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I figured I'm balancing it by adding small framed. Which is also 2 dots. You take a +2 bonus to hide, go unnoticed, or otherwise benefit from your size.
Amazing.
I feel like
what a scary, scary little gremlin.
Fits.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So, Joe, thank you. You have picked out all of your flaws and your merits, and now we are going to talk to our friend. Yes, thank you, Clinton Trucks. We're going to talk to our friend Ross Bryant. Have you had a chance to look at the merits at all?
I have. I think I've selected a batch to choose from to winnow
great.
down.
What are you thinking?
So I get to pick 3. Is that right?
You get 7 dots worth, and
Gotcha.
I can kind of tell you how much they cost.
Great.
Don't worry so tell me what you're thinking, because remember we've already created one for you called Contortionist for 2 dots. So.
And I found that there is one called Double Jointed that sounds kind of similar to what that might be.
Yeah. Oh, great. Double jointed. What does it say about double
dislodge joints at will? Escape from mundane bondage automatically. When grappled and not acting aggressively, penalize your attacker's overpowering rolls by your dexterity. And you have to have 3 dexterity for it. It looks like that. And I do.
I think that double jointed takes the place of Contortionist then.
I think you're right.
That is what we were looking for. Yeah. Okay.
Great. So that's 2 of my dots. Right?
Yes, exactly.
And how many? And I have 7 to spend. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay,
and you can spend 3 of them to get another point of Azoth if you want. And keep in mind that Azoth sort of gets rolled often when you're using your powers or when you're trying to detect other Prometheans and doing various little supernatural wizardy stuff that the Prometheans sometimes do.
I see.
And now Abu took 3 dots of Azoth, so you're a little bit covered as a group, but if you want more, I think it's certainly a good idea always.
That is interesting. I'm going to, I think, take this. I'm going to take another 2 dots, so knocking me down to 3 to spend in something called Fighting Finesse. I substitute dexterity for strength when making rolls with a chosen brawl or weaponry specialty.
It's a very good idea.
Yeah,
very good idea.
And then with those 3 remaining points, I'll buy that dang Azoth.
There you go. Fighting Finesse, and then a second dot of Azoth. And then your willpower is equal to your composure plus resolve. So for you, that is 3. And then your health is equal to a 5 plus your stamina. So that is equal to 6. And let's see. Everybody starts with a humanity of 7. And humanity is exactly what you think. It's like how human you are. And now I think that I forgot to do this with Abu, but we're going to talk to him very carefully about this. You see there's a spot on the sheet called disfigurement.
Yes.
How do you describe your character's disfigurements? Like, so when someone sees, so every
that's
Promethean,
interesting.
this is important.
That's interesting to think about in terms of this character who you said is like, oh, they're beautiful, 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 but there's something off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so every Promethean throws up this sort of exothic illusion so that humans aren't constantly going like, there's a corpse walking down the street. But it's part of the reason humans kind of just generally end up distrusting them, because they can sense that there's just this paper thin illusion covering them. And other Prometheans look at you and they instantly see what you really are.
Okay.
And so I liked you already used some descriptive words, and for a Galateid, having like a kind of like a mannequin-like appearance, a plasticky kind of appearance is super appropriate for their disfigurements. So how would you describe your disfigurement?
I think it's I mean, in my head it's a face of alabaster that if you could if the camera rotates away, you see that it like terminates and there is nothing inside.
Great. A face of alabaster, nothing behind.
Like literally nothing behind the eyes. It's
nothing behind the eyes. I love that. And let's okay, great, beautiful facade. But I think I like Clinton Trucks. Forgive me. I really love a face of alabaster, nothing behind the eyes. That makes me remember exactly how horrible this thing is. And then Joe, let's see here. Your disfigurement. How would you describe, when other Prometheans look at you? So I was just telling Ross that humans look at you and there's sort of an illusion that all Prometheans cast, so that people don't just start screaming that a corpse is walking down the street.
Yeah.
But other but that's why humans sort of distrust you, is they can sense something is fake about you. And then other Prometheans look at you and they see what you really are. So did I say like a corpse cobbled together with doll parts, broken doll parts?
Yes, yeah, it's not all corpse. Like perhaps one of the arms is a doll's arm, and there's little doll shoes, and but there are corpse pieces in between, patchworked.
Great. Really terrifying. So here we go. So your Azoth will be 1. Your humanity will be 7. We roll that occasionally to see if it goes down. And you always roll half your humanity. And I'm going to say rounded down because I want it to sometimes go down or up. So like if I told you to roll your humanity, I really mean like roll 3 dice usually. And let's see. We have okay. So now all that's left to do, guys, we're so far along, is choose our special magical powers that are called transmutations.
Oh my gosh.
There's more?
I know, right?
Oh, there's more. There's so much more, everybody. So let's look at your refinement decides what powers you get, or what transmutations you can choose from. Here we go. I'm going to start, if you don't mind, since we started with you for the entire process. I'm going to start with Ross and his transmutations.
Yeah.
So your 2 transmutations that you can choose from with the Quicksilver refinement, Ross, they are Alchemicus and Volcanus. Yeah. Now you know what that means without me telling you, right? No, probably not. Okay. Here, so let's go and look at Alchemicus. So Alchemicus, the alteration or transformation of material substances from mystically identifying them to molding their shape and function like clay. Actually, our friend Akili took a couple of those, or took
really?
one level of those, and then Volcanus, the manipulation of Pyros, from sensing its presence to stealing it from other Prometheans. But I want to tell you something else. You just have to take one from your refinement, like you have to take something from Alchemicus or something from Volcanus, but then you can also choose to take like deception, supernatural means of confusing or evading opponents. Metamorphosis, the transformation of the body into new shapes. Stuff like that.
I want all the metamorphic protean stuff. I'm imagining that a human would just see this creature as a beautiful person, but when the facade goes away, it's like a rictus of ivory. But like you could, with like a base face, but then it could just like shift and like become something else, almost like taking off, putting on a mask.
Great. Perfect. So I think that if you have to take at least one dot from Alchemicus or Volcanus, and based on what you're telling me about like transformation, Alchemicus is the study of doing that to material substances.
And that's for any material substance.
That's correct. So actually Abu took this, but it wouldn't be crazy for you to also take it. Maybe he even taught it to you. We don't know yet. It's called Forging the Master's Tools. You get a +1 die because you've kind of perfected items that you use, like you've perfected their form. Then there's a 1 dot Alchemicus transmutation called Identification. You can identify an object's material substance and discern all its components by scrutinizing it. What does that allow you to do? Well, it would allow you to like be really good at crafting things, or like maybe even repairing your weird alabaster face and stuff like that. Then there's a 2 dot transmutation. So you would be using 2 of your 3 dots. You only get 3 dots in transmutations, called Degradation. You can weaken an object by attacking its structure. Or Fortification. You can strengthen an object by infusing it with your power. So maybe we should look at Volcanus. Do any of those sound great to you? Do any of those sound like your character?
Yeah, I like the idea of like shifting and shaping something, a creature that is as image obsessed as this one seems to be. Like reshaping the physical qualities of things seems to be right in line with that.
Yeah. Okay, so you like Forging the Master's Tools? That's the one that's kind of allowing you to do that. Okay, so
yeah, that's the
Forging the Master's Tools. You will have that in common with Achille, but I think that's completely fine. And then that's 1 dot in Forging the Master's Tools. And then we can let's see, transmutations are actually on the next page, if you can believe that. Then we can kind of talk about, do you think you want to look into the metamorphosis or the deception?
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I liked. I'm thinking more. It's like this thing was created as like almost like as a clockwork performer, and so it was supposed to be like a cast of characters in one, and
yes, and which look at this Mask of the Medusa. You can warp your features into a horrific visage. Natural weaponry. By the way, you don't have to take a 1 dot before you take a 2 dot a lot of the times with these. So natural weaponry, you can sprout claws or fangs. Blessing of Tethys. You gain the ability to breathe water instead of air. Redundant organ. You shapeshift a portion of your body to serve as either an organ, or you can like create an eye, an ear, or a tongue. Wow, that's so gross. You have 2 dots left to spend, so those are your options in Metamorphosis, and I'm happy to talk to you about
Great. What is Mask of Medusa?
You
Oh wait, I've got 2 to spend, and I think I might just go with Mask of Medusa and natural weaponry.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mask of Medusa will allow you to add die. Each success on this roll allows you to add a die to intimidation rolls, so you can change your visage to be unnaturally horrifying.
Yeah, I think this can be beautiful and terrible in equal measure. When this creature turns on you, the beauty becomes horrific.
Great, and then natural weaponry also in Metamorphosis. Great. And then I don't know what tools this character is using, but they can refine them to be well, any tool really. Like, so if you find yourself in, does your character have any craft at all?
Yes, I took 1 in craft.
Okay, great. So maybe that's something that this character, because these creatures, these Prometheans,
I think it's masks. I think he's a mask maker. And so there's a beautiful, like, it's not just one beautiful face. They can don many beautiful faces. One that's more perhaps feminine, more masculine, more this, more that. And it's never the same, but it's always beguiling.
This is why I love playing with Ross, is this motherfucker brings it every time. I'm going to give you a craft specialty, masks.
Great.
And your masks do stuff for you. They do things that you need them to do sometimes. Okay. That's incredible. So now we're going to talk to Joe about the powers that Aurum Gold gives you.
Ooh.
And the transmutations, they have corporeum and vitality. And vitality.
I was looking at vitality already.
Oh, great. What do you like in vitality?
I think if I'm looking at the right stuff, there's do we get a 1 dot in there for free, or what is it? Because you're saying we have to take 1.
What you must take some kind of power from the ones that your refinement gives you.
Mm-hmm.
You could take a 1 dot, or you could take a 2 dot, or you could take a 3 dot, and that's all your dots.
I see.
These powers don't have prerequisites. Like, I think in the disciplines in Vampire, you must take the 2 dot before you take the 3, but not in this. Like, I remember reading very clearly that you can just take a 3 dot one if you want.
Shoulders of Atlas is pretty cool. Contemporarily lift great weights.
Awesome. I love a lot of power in a small package. It's the best.
Yeah. Shoulders of Atlas for our tiny Titan.
Yeah, I was between that. Well, I might take as the second one, because there's also a battering ram where small structures such as walls or doors can be torn through easily.
You should, I love it. I think you should take it. It's really funny to me.
Yeah. Well, so input, Ross, especially as a team here, there's battering ram, you're taking down walls or doors.
Cool.
Or there's also bludgeon, where I can stun a target with a physical attack.
Oh man.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Those are both great. It's you're breaking and entering, or
battering ram is fun for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be more fun to have a battering ram, and we'll figure out fighting later, because that's entering any scene.
Kaboom! On the other hand, once we're in, you're stuck with old Spindly.
Yeah,
Spindly
but
Jones
I can still ground and pound him, So.
Yeah, you can still ground and pound. Give him a bit of the old GMP.
Yeah, so maybe we do. Let's do both the Shoulders of Atlas and the battering ram, I think.
Sounds great. What a brute. I love it. And I'm just going to let you know exactly. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
I think we should at least read what Fist of Talos is, because I find it so funny, and it was really hard not to take it just for the idea of it. The arm or leg can be turned into a blunt instrument. You just remove an arm. Which I love. Yeah. Wait, no, actually, I'm probably imagining that I would remove it to use it, but it's probably just saying that you can use your arms and legs as blunt instruments.
Becomes a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh
no,
God,
I
yeah,
think
you
we
can
picked
just.
good
I
ones.
mean, I think you've got great ones. I also think that Fist of Talus is so cool, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give you that one too because
What?
I want to see you. I want to see you do that.
Dope.
You've that. So if we could go ahead and give her Fist of Talus, and then it'll come up. Don't worry, I'm not gonna deprive
Sure,
you,
sure.
Mr. Bryant. Another power will appear at some point during our game. The thing with
Sweet.
tabletop role playing games, guys, is sometimes the XP systems are so very stingy, and if you're only playing a little mini series, well, a battering ram and the Shoulders of Atlas Clinton trucks, they're having all of them. We're just giving them all of them. Okay, so now we've done it, guys. We've actually created the characters. The only thing that's left is we must have a name for our characters.
Oh God.
All right. So Abu is so great. I love where the name is really evocative and has some meaning. Okay. Pygmalion was from Cyprus, and I've always loved that. Like, you call people from someone from Italy is Italian, someone from Spain is Spanish, someone from Cyprus is a Cypriot, and
yes,
let's call them Cyprian.
Cyprian. Wow, that's beautiful.
Cyprion. Cyprian.
Wow.
Your turn, Joe, and it's got to be that good.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on.
Well, let's think of dolls. What are names of various dolls?
I think it's gonna be like Miss Mary Rose.
Miss Mary Rose?
Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third.
Look, that is what a little girl would name her doll.
I love it.
Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third.
It's a kid's doll. You're making me flash on, like, anytime I had to stay in a great aunt's house or something in a bedroom where there'd be like 2 or 3 porcelain dolls with their eyes like half closed, like sitting there. I was like, can I sleep somewhere else? This is terrible.
Yeah. These characters are amazing, but I'm now going to put them in the world that they belong in, and I'm going to ask you to imagine. So I think I would like to start with Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third. Do you think that so you didn't take any merits based on a mentor? So it looks like Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third's creator is not in the picture, or is just not helpful. You know what I mean? Is not like an ally or a helpful person to her. Why don't we talk a little bit about what do you think Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third? What is her situation right now, and how was she created? Talk a little bit about that.
Let's see. I like the idea that perhaps a Promethean, a child Promethean had made her as a companion. But Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III has like bigger ideas, has an independent spirit, wants to get ahead in the world, sees so much potential before her, and so I think she's going to seek out individuals, perhaps with a like-minded ambition of sorts, because she wants to be one with humanity. She sees the men at the top making money, making big moves in the world, and she wants to be there, and she will climb her way there.
I love that. So, often in this game, they talk about creators abandoning their creations, because of course that's what Dr. Frankenstein did. But in this case, the creation has abandoned its creator.
Yes, correct.
You left your creator, who all we know about your creator right now is that your creator is childlike.
She doesn't
wanted a plaything, but wanted a little companion. But you that's not what you are.
No, and for a while the tea parties were great, but that's not all that she wants in her life. So
So I imagine Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third leaving like this sort of like terrifying dollhouse that her creator had built, you know, like
Absolutely.
had found an abandoned house and had painted it pink and had cobbled together all this stuff from all of her travels that made it look like the inside of like a little Barbie dollhouse, a dream house, and wanted to have tea parties every day and
Mhm.
play house. Like sometimes your creator made it maybe even dressed up like the daddy and came home with like a suitcase, and like you guys
Mhm.
kind of played at what humans like do. But eventually Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third realized that this is this is not what you're about. Like you are
Yes.
going to become human, and you have ambitions, and so you snuck away.
Mhm.
And this chronicle is going to be called Frankensteins of Pennsylvania, because it's going to all happen in Pennsylvania. So you left the outskirts of Pittsburgh, and you moved through town to town. It doesn't look like you have any kind of merits that would allow you to like have a car or even any money. So can you tell
No,
me how
no.
how has Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third been sort of keeping herself? Well, first of all, I can reveal some things about Prometheans. You can eat any organic substance and it will sustain you. So Prometheans, when they are left out in the wilderness, sometimes will eat grass or leaves.
Mhm.
It's not pleasant. It's about as disgusting as you'd think it would be. Bugs. So just so you know, the great options you have available to you for cuisine. But maybe Miss Mary Rose Priscilla the Third is using some other kind of means of keeping herself moving and keeping herself in money. What do you think? How did she survive?
Yeah, I think she clutches onto the bottom of moving vehicles uh, in order to transport to other areas. And anytime that roadkill appears on the side of the road, she'll drop off and go scavenge and have at it to
Oh
eat
my
your
God.
faces.
I'm just imagining
Because
a car
I
driving by and a little kid like, Mom, did you see? Like, eyes on the road, honey. Like,
You're
as your
just
eyes
making
just
me so
following.
happy, Joe, because you get it. You get the kind of game we're trying to run here.
Rods.
So Mary Rose, for short,
And I
is
think
like, yeah, go ahead.
like I think based on her creator, she probably was put in this like gorgeous little frilly little dress, but it's not really, she does not care about that, and it's right torn up, maybe a little bloody. It's gotten just staying pristine and clean is not high priority here.
I think that I'm gonna come up with a brief encounter for her, which is I think that at like a highway rest stop, this like elderly couple saw what to their eyes looks like a little girl covered in mud and dust in this like frilly dress, like picking at a roadkill.
Oh.
Mhm.
And they came up to you and they were like, "Honey, baby, is your mommy around? Do you need help, baby?"
I don't have a mommy.
Oh my God.
Should we call someone for you, baby? Should we call? Do you need help?
Where are you headed?
They look at each other and like, well, we're headed home. We're headed home to Altoona. But honey, like, I think I should call someone to help find your mama.
No, don't call anyone.
Herbert, call
No, I
911.
said no.
Okay. And so, are you advancing on them, or are you threatening them at all?
Yeah. I'm gonna like let's see, maybe like waddle over to the guy if he goes to turn and like grab his ankle.
Oh wow. Okay, so I want two things to happen. First of all, we're going to talk about disquiet, which I mean, you're already acting in a way that would make them disquieted, but I want to see if it gets worse. I'm going to go ahead and give them like the first level of disquiet just because of the way you're behaving. but I want you to roll your
Fifth.
Azoth, which is just
Wait.
one. Just roll one die.
So
if you
how
have
do
it,
I?
Joe.
Oh my gosh, I don't have
Just a
any dice with
D10.
me.
Oh, that's okay. Do you mind if I roll it for you?
No, go for it.
Okay, so I'm rolling Joe's Azoth, or I'm sorry, Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III's Azoth, and then I'm rolling their like kind of composure. Now the game says roll their resolve plus composure, but then it feels like you would have to pay for 10 years before anybody would ever get disquieted by these characters. So I'm changing the rules and making it just composure. And okay, they have succeeded. So they're not completely hateful of you yet. They're like still
Okay,
trying to help
that's
you.
good.
But you've grabbed onto the man's leg, and he's like, Doris, and she's like, honey, let go, honey, let go. And she's like now kind of softly putting her hand on your shoulder.
And I say, don't touch me. Don't kidnap me. No, help someone. They're trying to take me.
Great. Let's see if that draws anybody. Let me just make a roll to find out.
If they
Okay,
start being like, oh shit, looking around, I'm just gonna make a run for it to the bushes to try and dive in.
Okay, great. That's certainly, they certainly kind of like are taken aback by you suddenly yelling that they're kidnapping you, and other people are kind of looking over and walking over, and that's when you run into the bushes and hide. And we can forgo dice rolls and stealth rolls and things like that for now. But that is the kind of life that our friend Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III is living out on the road right now. Eventually, your characters meet. Eventually, you meet the Cyprian, and so I want to know, where is the Cyprian? We've discussed the dollhouse that our friend was living in. Where is the Cyprian now, and what was their relationship to their creator?
I think, okay, their creator was another Galatean, obviously, who was maybe more of a craftsperson aesthete, and created the Cyprian as kind of a humanoid player piano of sorts. It's like, I think we discussed there's clockwork in the back. I think you could almost like insert a little roll back there and then like a little, but basically the Cyprian would perform like a one-person show, playing all the, like, it's like a little I want to see Troilus and Cressida tonight, and then you play all the parts, and maybe it's the same thing of like eventually like the creator left and never came back, and
right, and you're not sure what happened to the creator. Who? Let's see. I'm gonna come up with a name, but go ahead. Tell me where was this all taking place? Like, what kind of like habitat did, or were you on the move? Like,
I'm seeing this almost as an urban environment. In the like the attic of an old building. Like it's like whoever this person was, like, why don't you come in? I have something to show you. And then like, you're a fellow traveler, aren't you? And then like walks you into a room full of like what look like mannequins draped in sheets and like little like clock, like, when Deckard goes to JF Sebastian's place in Blade Runner and those two little guys walk out like, good evening, JF. It's like that.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And
the Cyprian's creator called himself Marlowe.
Great. Love it. And Marlowe would show me off to people.
But of course, Prometheans create distrust and horror in people, at least eventually, always. So the people that would come and watch these little shows would, often like run off in horror or escape somehow before the performance was over. And then Marlowe would just excoriate you for failing. He's like, this is supposed to make them like us. Of course, he said it in a more, proper high English, because that was Marlowe's thing. Marlowe is a craftsman and a playwright and a creator of fantasy. And so he would excoriate you and admonish you failing in your role, Cyprian. But then one day Marlowe went out to get his supplies and just never came back. How long did the Cyprian wait, and what did the Cyprian do while they were waiting?
I also love that we're landing on the Cyprian.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Cyprian?
I think to just in conversation, it's Cyprian, but by their creator, it was the Cyprian.
Yes,
they were referred to as an object, and so
yes,
they're claiming some sense of selfhood now. I don't dance to anyone else's tune, and so the roll took the rolls out of the back and stepped out into the light for the first time, after
right.
maybe hunger and loneliness took over.
Very good. And so I'm gonna say that maybe this happens. It happens in some little Pennsylvania town, and you didn't even see, because you were literally like walking along the highway and then kind of running down in the ditch beside the highway. Like you missed the sign that tells you what even town you're in. But it's beautiful and perfect, with little manicured lawns and pretty little suburban houses all in a row. And one of those like bandstands. It looks like something out of like the early 20th century, this town. And a little, like most small towns, you can tell that there's been some wear and tear. The industry has left, but they have maintained a quiet little, pretty little main street with. They've created one of those things that people do now, where they make a new fake old-fashioned street, with like
exactly.
a fake old-fashioned like soda pop shop and things like that. And that's the place you find yourself in, Miss Mary Rose Priscilla, and you meet. You sense, first of all, like the fire inside you just sort of like starts to. You just feel it like fluttering inside you, and it's like when someone gets butterflies in their tummy because they're excited to meet someone that they're romantically interested in. But this is different. This is like in your chest, and it makes your hair stand on end, and you just know, because the feeling, you remember it from your creator. You know that there is another one of your kind nearby. What do you do?
Okay. I will start to snoop around looking for them, but I will do so carefully. So if I can go from one wall to the next as I look around, checking for where this is coming from, I'll try to follow that feeling.
Right. And you find yourself in this little kind of square in the middle of this town with the bandstand that I described.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that we did in Mage that I thought worked so well. Cyprian, when Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III finds you, there is something terrible happening.
Okay.
Something has gone horribly wrong. What has gone horribly wrong? What difficulty do you find yourself in? Please tell me.
Okay. I think as Cyprian is trying to kind of like make their way, like occasionally, like, so what happened was like families and people are out in this square, and suddenly a kid looks over and sees a very tall, slender figure. His head turns towards them, and just a long, slender finger is like, shh, reaches forward and like pulls a coin from behind their ear, and then like makes the coin walk down their fingers and back up their fingers, and then like puts the coin in their ear and then pulls it out their nose. And the kid's like delighted and laughing. And then as the parents turn to look, the coin goes in the mouth and then out from under the eye. And then it's like, hey, get away from my son. And a crowd is starting to form, like, this freak was doing something to my kid. Get away from here. Like pushing Cyprian. And there's a little crowd forming. It's like, no, please.
Can
please.
you roll 2d10s for me? Can you roll 2d10s for me to reflect your Azoth,
Great.
Ross?
Sure.
And I'm going to roll this.
Okay. Uh-oh. I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Okay. Well, that means that you're actually doing okay. So
Okay.
perhaps that means you have an opportunity to talk to these people before things get worse. And Mary Rose can do whatever she likes, but right now I think you're carefully hidden behind the bandstand.
Yeah, while it's happening, if a crowd is coming in to see what's going on, he's got them distracted. I feel like I might run through the crowd and pickpocket.
Great. Okay. Let's see. You have
And
you
trying to
have,
see like what's the commotion about. It's a like, well, let's see what's
Of
going on here,
course.
but also be productive.
Would you just bring up like a dice roller, like roll dice on Google
Yeah,
roll your larceny, which is 2 dots, plus your dexterity, which is 3 dots. So you're gonna roll 5 d10s. Anything that comes up in 8, 9, or 10 is a success.
So when I rolled Azoth just then and got 1s and 3, was that 2 failures or?
Right, so your Azoth isn't burning so brightly that everybody is sort of unnaturally like, it's not human yet.
So I wanted to fail in that, potentially.
Yeah,
in
you
that
kind of
situation.
wanted to if you don't want to be like,
Gotcha.
taken by the mob. So what I'm
Understood.
saying is the Cyprian, I'm saying that the mob is still not happy.
Right.
All supernatural influences aside, this guy didn't like what you did to his kid. Like
Right.
what you're showing his kid, and who
The hell
would?
are you? Of course.
So I want to know what the Cyprian does to smooth it all over.
Okay. Well, I think he wants to go into like a little kind of performer's patter to try to calm the crowd down and say something. Oh, please, it's all part of the show. Just play it off as though. I understand. Not everybody appreciates a busker. I'll be on my way.
Very good. So roll what you would use to perform. Which for you, did you take any expression?
I didn't.
No. Okay. So weirdly, I'm going to rule that is that your performances are bereft of any kind of human connection. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it is truly like a clockwork automaton.
Right.
Like it's all like the words are correct, but there's no soul behind them.
Then I want a composure plus empathy roll.
So what was that?
Is that to connect with these people? That's for you, yeah, and that's 2 dice if I'm looking correctly.
Because I don't have my
Composure
sheet
plus
in
empathy.
front of me.
Yeah, it's
great.
2 dice. Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 failures then, because I rolled a 2 and a 5.
Okay, great. The crowd starts shouting, and they're calling a policeman over. How did you do on your pickpocketing roll?
You said it was 8s, 9s, and 10s, right?
8, 9s, and 10s are successes.
3 successes.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to just like, and he's not communicating as he would, like it's like he's going into like a patter from. But it is like, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you will only cast your eyes right here, then you would see that no harm is involved. Why there is nothing up my sleeves, and only prestidigitation effects are taking place here. And it's like the eyes are almost like drifting out of place as he's like going through this. They're like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
And so we have come to the end of our 2 hours. So I will just ask, does Miss Mary Rose Priscilla III help this hapless Promethean?
Yes, I think when I realized, like, oh, what a handy distraction, and then it starts getting a little more out of hand. It's not, and police start getting called. I would then move to the Cyprian, and I think in knowing that we know that we are each Prometheans, correct? Like we recognize each other.
Yes, in fact, you can see his. So they are seeing a person, but you are seeing the disfigurements, and in fact, you, Cyprian, would instantly see a creature of dead parts and like a doll arm. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
these folks are seeing as the patter goes away, and it's just like, please, I mean you no harm. I mean you no harm at all. And then suddenly I'm like looking over and like,
yeah, I'll come and tap on your elbow and say, like, I think it's time to go home now, and put my arms up to get carried.
oh yes, of course. My daughter is here. We'll be on our way. Of course, as you can see, I'm a family man.
Oh no.
Everybody is truly confused by this, but no roles necessary. I think that that's a great plan, Joe. So I think that it just works. And so I want to know, let's end with the first words said between these two characters.
You helped me make a lot of money.
Yes. As long as you show me the devotion owed to a father or mother.
And I think I would definitely like take out like and split an earnings, because this is like it's my first investment into a long-term business.
Oh, beautiful. And so
I think this is the beginning of something lovely. Although, don't you think it's past your bedtime?
Okay, I'm not actually a kid. Let's establish that.
I jest. Sorry, sometimes the tone is lost.
You give Daddy his cut. And that is where we will leave these two strange creatures somewhere in Pennsylvania. I love that they already have a grift that they work. That is going to help them survive a lot. I am really excited. I was excited already. I'm even more excited for these episodes we have coming up. I can't wait to bring Abu's Promethean wizard into the mix next time.
Oh man.
And I have been working on this and reading the book and like come up with some other people for you to meet. So I just can't wait for you to meet them. Thank you, Ross and Joe. Thank you, guys.
This is such a weird, unique.
I know. It's gonna
weird
be
and
so
unique.
I know it's like
crazy. I love it.
It's an obscure game to some people. It's a weird one to play, and I don't know, for some reason that's fun because it's so out there. Yeah, it is lovely. And your Mary Rose voice will haunt my dreams.
Oh my god!
Okay.
As soon as it came out, I was like, oh boy.
Thank you, chat. I'm going to say goodbye to our Ross and Joe for now. Thanks, guys. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. I'm going to hang out for just a second to let you know that you can keep watching the Stream of Blood Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, when we will have the final part of our Wraith the Oblivion storyline, the castle, starring Rashawn Scott, Rena Henze, and the wonderful Patrick McNamara. So tune in. They are ghosts now, but they must now bust a ghost. That's what's happening in part 3. And I recommend you go back to YouTube, VOD, the rest of those episodes, because I've really loved playing Wraith with those folks. 7 p.m. Pacific, Tuesday night for Taste of Blood. And then we will be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific in the morning for more Prometheans of Pennsylvania, Frankensteins of Pennsylvania is what I'm calling it. So please tune in next week for more of that, and we will have Abu then. Guys, thank you. We have new merch in our merch store. I want to mention that. Be sure to go check it out. New designs have gone in there. So please check out our merch store. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I see our numbers were pretty good today. So if you're new to this show, please subscribe and show your appreciation that way. You can also hop on our Discord and talk to us about the show today. We really love that. And I personally, and Clinton Trucks, my secret storyteller, and everybody involved, Brian Baldinger, we all love to answer your messages on the Discord. So please hit us up there. We're also on all the social media platforms, and it does help for you to follow us there. Twitter, Instagram, and that's when we let you know when we're doing special things like this 6-part Promethean series. So please get on those. Check out our Insta so you know what kind of shows are coming up. That's it. Thank you to Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks, my producing partners. Thank you to Megan Arch, our social media manager, and Jill Petracek, who does all of our great designs. Until next time, get stitched. We love you. Goodbye.